Kuga. The word alone generates tons of interest and gets naughty grins on all the guys' faces. By definition, an older model, usually in showroom condition, attention-seeking, super sexy lines, vying for the undivided attention of the younger set. And that brings us rather perfectly to Ford's Kuga. So the Kuga really is a Kuga because it is an older model. The first Kugas rolled off the production line in 2008, built in Germany. The new model has already been announced in Europe, but we're only getting it right now in South Africa. Super sexy, stylish, showroom conditions, hotlines. Certainly the Kuga has tons of those. From a styling point of view, it is typical of your SUV crossover. It's got the wide arches, got quite an aggressive front end. It's got that prominent shoulder line, making the windows quite small. For me, one of the better looking SUVs around at the moment. So from a styling point of view, it certainly is there. It's going to grab heaps of attention. Overseas, you get a couple of engine options. It comes out in the 2-litre diesel or the 2.5 turbo Duratec petrol engine. In South Africa, we only are getting the petrol engine. Overseas, you also get two drive options in terms of two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. We're only getting the all-intelligent all-wheel drive system, which is really great, but the problem for me is it certainly does push up the price on the Kuga, but we'll get to that a little bit later. The car's been built using Ford's C1 platform, which is also where a lot of the underpinnings come from for the Ford Focus. A lot of people say, the Kuga looks a lot like a Ford Focus, possibly on all-wheel drive and on stilts, but there's tons of difference between the two cars, let me assure you. What it does share is Ford certainly got things right in terms of the chassis feel on the Focus and the weighting of the steering. It was very linear, and I think you're going to find exactly the same thing in the Kuga. They want this car to obviously be a comfortable everyday drive, but still to be dynamic, and I think they've got that right. Obviously, they've had to firm things up quite a bit because of the elevated ride-out, but it doesn't make for an uncomfortable drive at all. Talking about the engine, I mean, it is a fantastic engine. Heaps of power, matted to a 5-speed auto box, which is super smooth, I must tell you. We've had a great time cruising around in it. It pushed out 147 kilowatts, 320 newton meters of torque, which is ample. And that intelligent all-wheel drive system really does assist you when you are losing traction, because it actually puts the drive to whichever wheel needs it the most. So Ford have certainly thought of everything when they brought this car out. I'm sure the next generation is going to be fantastic as well. From an interior point of view, super comfortable. I like the older Ford layouts. I know the Fiestas have got quite busy for me in terms of how they've laid out their interiors. They follow that through to the new Focus now, but you can see this is a slightly older car because the interiors is a bit more simple. I actually prefer it. Everything's in the right place. It's easy to get yourself into a comfortable driving position. Comes with full leather seats as well, and tiny things that I enjoy. They've got this fabric little cutout here, which is perfect for when you're wanting to rest that elbow on a nice long trip with the family in the back. I like things like that. Their dual splitting tailgate is also super clever. Open the top, it's got a nice little pushback protection cover, or you can open the entire boot. Lots of places to store things to make the driving experience more relaxing and making sure that your hands are on the wheel at all times. It comes with Bluetooth. It's even got voice activation, so I can tell it exactly who to phone and when to phone. So it's a well-equipped, well-set-out, fantastic car to drive. I really am loving the Kuga. It's so good that it's here. My problem? Price. If you look at what South Africans are buying at the moment, we know they are SUV mad. And most of the players are in that 280 to 320 price category. Ford Kuga in the trend line, which is what we're driving at the moment, is sitting at 385,000, and if you go top of the range titanium in spec, that's 405,000. The difference between the two, you'll see in the trend, we don't have the sunroof, we don't have PDC, we don't have auto headlights, we don't have the dual climate control, we don't have rain sensitive wipers. I mean, those are all little nice to haves, but at 405,000, it's a lot of money. And I wish they'd bring out the diesel and maybe just go with the two-wheel drive. I think bring the price down and you're going to sell tons of this car, because the Kuga is hot. So the thing is this, I really didn't want to like the Kuga because I'm irritated with Ford South Africa. This car was launched in 2008. The new model has already been announced overseas. It is so good. It drives so well. It looks so good. Why wait so long to bring it to South Africa? But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm glad they did.